Here are 10 hidden anime so addictive you'll binge them in a single night. Number 10. Eden of the East. This one hooks you in 30 seconds. A naked guy with a gun and billions of yen wakes up outside the White House with no memory. From there, the show becomes a conspiracy thriller about power, society, and the consequences of trying to save Japan. Every episode adds new hints, secrets, and competing players until the story explodes in the final arc. Short, punchy, and smarter than it looks, Eden of the East is the definition of bingeable. The phones, the mysterious benefactor, and the shadow war between chosen saviors make every decision feel dangerous. The group of noblesse oblige candidates all represent different visions of how a nation should survive and evolve. It constantly challenges the idea of heroism and whether good intentions actually help a country or destroy it. The more answers you get, the more unsettling the truth behind the game becomes. By the end, you're forced to ask if anyone deserves the power to rewrite an entire society. Even the romances are coated with uncertainty, which makes you question the motives behind every alliance. It is one of those rare shows where rewatches reveal clues you never noticed the first time. The finale feels less like a conclusion and more like a warning that real-world systems work in almost the same way. Number 9. Deadman Wonderland. This anime is pure chaos. A middle school kid is framed for murdering his entire class and sent to a prison where inmates fight for survival like gladiators. The powers are violent, the villains are terrifying, and the twists never stop. It feels like battle royale mixed with horror and psychological trauma. If you want a fast, brutal hidden gem, this one hits hard. The prison itself functions as a twisted amusement park where death becomes entertainment. You never know who is an enemy, a tool of the system, or a fellow victim trying desperately to live another day. The powers called Branch of Sin give each fighter a unique and horrifying way to weaponize their own blood. Ganta's journey forces him to face guilt, rage, and his own breaking point again and again. The show never lets you breathe, and that intense momentum is what makes it dangerously bingeable. Every tournament is staged like a circus, designed to break inmates just enough to keep them obedient. The friendships that form feel desperate because everyone knows they could die at any moment. It leaves you asking whether justice ever existed or if the entire prison was built to erase the truth. Number 8. ACCA, 13 Territory Inspection Department. Calm, slow burn political thriller that becomes addictive quickly. Ajin isn't a fighter or hero. He's a bureaucrat who audits government branches, but everyone thinks he's plotting a rebellion. Instead of action, ACCA is fueled by rumors, power struggles, and elegant world building. By the time you reach episode 7, you're locked in. It's an adult anime most viewers never discover. Every territory has its own culture, food, customs, and subtle political interests that create a believable world. Jin's calm presence makes him the eye of the storm as factions manipulate him from every direction. You start piecing together the conspiracy the same way he does, bit by bit, detail by detail. The soundtrack has a jazzy vibe that perfectly matches the classy slow tension. It doesn't scream at you with drama. It seduces you until you suddenly realize you're obsessed. The side characters feel like real professionals rather than anime stereotypes, which adds weight to every conversation. You begin to suspect everyone, including Jin himself, because nobody ever reveals their full hand. It ends not with explosions, but with political maneuvering so elegant it feels like a magician's final trick. Number 7. Banana Fish. This one hits emotionally and never lets go. Ash is a street gang leader caught in a war over a mysterious drug called banana fish. It's intense, violent, dramatic, and grounded in real trauma. The relationships are powerful, and the story never wastes time. Once you start it, you finish it. The show explores trauma not just as a backstory, but as a living wound that affects every decision Ash makes. New York becomes a battlefield filled with gang politics, corruption, and international intrigue. Ash and Eiji's connection is fragile, painful, and beautifully human in a world that tries to crush them. The more Ash fights the system, the more it becomes clear how deep the conspiracy goes. Every episode pushes you further toward an ending you're terrified to reach, but cannot stop watching. It shows how exploitation destroys youth and turns survival into a nightmare that never really ends. The villains are disturbingly realistic, which makes every victory feel temporary and costly. Its final message is not about winning, but about finding something worth protecting, even in hell. Number 6. Ajin, Demi-Human. If you like tense action, this is your new obsession. Ajin are immortal humans who revive instantly after death. Governments hunt them, corporations experiment on them, and society fears them. Satu, the main villain, is one of the most terrifying and calculating antagonists ever. The pacing is aggressive and every episode escalates. The fights are not just physical, but psychological, forcing humans and Ajin to outthink each other. Satu's plans are unpredictable and often horrifying, using tactics that blur the line between terrorism and strategy. The CGI style gives the action a harsh and gritty rhythm that fits the story's brutality. The protagonist, K, is not a traditional hero, but a survivalist who makes morally questionable choices. It teaches you that immortality is not freedom. It is a curse that others weaponize against you. The moral lines blur until you realize both sides justify cruelty in the name of survival. Every encounter with Satu feels like a chess match where losing means cities burn. The show leaves you questioning whether humanity is defined by compassion or fear of the unknown. Number 5. Rage of Bahamut, Genesis. Nobody talks about this anime, but it's pure fantasy gold. Dragons, demons, angels, bounty hunters, and one cocky main character who gets dragged into world-ending chaos. The animation is shockingly good, and every episode feels like a mini blockbuster. The humor hits, the fights are hype, and the ending is ridiculously satisfying. It's the kind of show that makes you ask why no one recommended it earlier. Favaro and Kaisar have one of the most entertaining love-hate rivalries in anime. The mythology of the gods and demons creates a story that feels grand without being confusing. Every quest they take ends up revealing deeper layers of the world until you realize the stakes are enormous. It balances comedy with drama in a way that keeps you smiling even during intense battles. The show respects your time. It gives you adventure, emotion, and spectacle without filler. The world feels like a living fantasy painting where every character has their own motivations. Even side quests matter because they eventually connect to the fate of the planet. Its final battles hit harder because the friendships and betrayals leading up to them feel earned. Number 4. The Perfect Insider, a locked room murder mystery done right. A genius scientist living in isolation is accused of murder, but nothing about the crime makes sense. The tension isn't from action, it's from ideas. Characters debate psychology, logic, identity, and what genius actually means. If you enjoy puzzle shows, this is a mind feast. The dialogue is layered with philosophy, taking mystery beyond simple who did it. The isolated facility becomes a pressure cooker where intellect and ego collide. You find yourself rewinding scenes just to re-examine a sentence or clue you might have missed. The show treats its viewers as intelligent and never spoon-feeds answers. By the time the truth emerges, you realize every conversation was a piece of the puzzle. It explores how brilliant minds can become isolated from morality when obsession becomes their only compass. Number 3. Hyouge Mono. This anime is criminally underrated. It's about warlords who are obsessed not with fighting, but with tea, aesthetic beauty, and philosophy. Sounds boring until you realize how intense their obsession becomes. Politics, status, betrayal, all expressed through art and taste. It's weird, unique, and unforgettable once you get pulled in. The series shows how aesthetics can become a weapon as powerful as a blade. Every tea ceremony becomes a battlefield of honor, reputation, and hidden agendas. Characters treat artistic perfection like life or death, giving their ambitions frightening depth. You begin to see how culture shapes power and how beauty itself becomes currency. It is one of the rare anime that makes you reflect on value, ego, and what it means to leave a legacy. The designs and settings immerse you in a Japan where art is a political strategy. Even the smallest pottery piece can start alliances or spark betrayals. Its humor is dry and subtle, which makes the dramatic moments land even harder. Number 2. Michiko and Hatchin. Two characters on the run, each escaping a different prison. Michiko is wild and impulsive. Hatchin is quiet and broken. Together, they travel across a Latin-inspired world full of criminals, corrupt police, and painful pasts. It's raw, emotional, stylish, and full of heart. The dub is one of the best in the industry. The show never romanticizes their struggles and instead paints each city like a living character. Michiko's past haunts every step while Hatchin slowly learns to stand on her own. Their dynamic shifts from survival partners to something like family, painful and messy but real. It's a road trip anime where every encounter tests their morals and scars them further. By the end, you don't want them to win because they are perfect. You want them to win because they've suffered enough. The soundtrack blends samba, rock, and street rhythms that give the world a heartbeat. The villains are not cinematic monsters, but broken people shaped by poverty, betrayal, and desperation. Its final episodes remind you that freedom is never clean, and some journeys only end when you choose to stop running. Number 1. Samurai Champloo. Everyone knows Cowboy Bebop, but this show is the real hidden masterpiece. Mugen and Jin are opposites, clashing swords constantly while protecting Fu on her search for a mysterious samurai. Every episode is different: comedy, drama, war, tradition, hip-hop culture, all blended into something fresh. The action is tight, the music is iconic, and the dub is legendary. This is anime you don't just watch, you experience it. The trio's journey feels like a diary of encounters that reveal who they are as much as who they pretend to be. The hip-hop influence isn't just aesthetic, it rewrites the rhythm of samurai storytelling. You'll meet monks, rival swordsmen, thieves, artists, and rebels, each episode a new flavor of Edo-era life. The show constantly shifts tone while never losing its emotional core. Its final arc hits harder because you realize how deeply you've grown attached to these three wanderers. The show's visuals age beautifully because style matters more than realism. Every duel is choreographed like a dance, making violence feel expressive rather than chaotic. It leaves you with that rare feeling that you did not watch characters, you traveled with them. These were 10 hidden anime so addictive, you'll binge them in a single night. If you want more lists like this, hit subscribe and stay tuned for the next one.